1/2, and we know we're adding. Okay? So can we add these up just the way we have them?
No.
Okay, we can add the first two, but we can't add the third one, right? So we need to multiply, right, 5 over 5, right? So we're just going to carry the first two over. Okay, so this will be 4 3/10 miles, 3 7/10 miles, and then the third one will be 2, and what would we get there? 5/10, right? And again, we're adding. Okay, so now we have 3 and 7. What's that? 10. 10 and 5 is 15, right? Over 10. And then we've got 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. And are we okay? No, we're not. What do we have to do? Simplify, right? 15 over 10, that's going to be 9 plus 1 and 5/10, right? So 9 plus 1 gives us 10 and 5/10, but can we simplify? Yeah, we can. Right, and that simplifies to 10 and 1/2, and what's our units? Miles, right?
Can you borrow to get the 5/10?
No, what we did here is you converted from an improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Again, you have 10 divided by 15, right, is 1. 1 times 10 is 10. 15 minus 10 is 5, right? And so this is your numerator, right? And 1, that's your whole number. Actually, we're looking at this one. Okay? And then 10, that's your divisor that goes in your denominator. Alright, so it's the same process for converting from an improper fraction to a mixed fraction like we've always been doing. Okay? It's just the only difference is we have 9 that we have to add with it. Alright? Okay, so this is again in miles. And up here, yeah, we have miles, miles, and miles. Okay, any other questions with that? Okay, this next one is not in the book. But this one is related to the problems on page 125. So let's go to page 125, and that's section 2.4. Alright, and now this one's not in your book, so I'll just put it NIB for not in book. And the problem states how much does a typical household spend in transportation? And what we do is we look at the chart in our book, and it's got a budget there.
We don't have the same page.
He's on 123.
120. Oh, back up here. Okay, yeah, this is page 123, not 125. Okay, so we're on section 2.4, page 123, and our next question is, this one's not in the books, we want to know how much does a typical household spend in transportation? And we look at this pie chart, and we've got housing. It's broken down into housing, and then we have, here's transportation, and I'll abbreviate that, and then there's others that go on, and there's food, and there's a lot of other smaller ones. But in transportation, we've got what
8/45.
we've got 8/45, right, of our income goes towards transportation. Okay, so if we have a total, if we're looking at, it says here, cost of living, a typical household in the United States has an average after-tax income of $45,000. Okay, so our income is 45,000. Average income for American household is 45,000. And we want to know, we want to find the amount of money that a typical household in the United States spends for transportation. And we said that transportation is 8/45 of the total budget. Okay, so we want, but we don't want 8/45, we want a dollar amount. Okay, so what do we have to do to find the dollar amount that we spend towards transportation? We have a total income of 45,000, right? We have a total income of 45,000, and we spend 8/45 of our budget on transportation, but we want a dollar amount. Well, you're kind of close. It's not divide. We know we're not going to subtract. We're not going to add, right? We're not going to subtract. But if this whole thing represents 45,000, and we want to go ahead and find out what the dollar amount is, then we take 45,000 and we multiply that times 8/45. So we would put a 1 under the 45,000. And so from there, what can we do? 45 into 45,000, right? And that gives us what? 1,000, right? Now if you had to do it long division,